Wednesday, January 22nd, 2020, I posted Anachronism 2964 called TV Encompasses Almost Everything, with a quote to begin. When I poke my fingers into them, I can see it. When I poke my fingers into them, I can see it. That's Jack Spicer. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding stuff and being paranoid, but at least I am focused, so it might be great to talk. Plus, who the fuck wants to talk with anyone when it's something that is planned under the most ominous and dramatically suspenseful methods? Let's find another parade, she said, which I think meant, so hey, what's something much better to yap about than dramatical suspense? Nobody paid any attention after that. There were just too many channels. I personally think, I'm not really sure, however, Harvey had the phaser and he barely used it. Nobody said anything above a whisper, or at least over the voice of Rue McClanahan. It was decided early on that politics was off limits. Maybe when Maud spoke, you know how she always spoke, there were some mini convos, the hipsters, the ones who would even say convos back then, at a decibel level slightly under Maud's. God knows what's not her name. Or does God know that? One can never be too sure. The scientists know. Global warming knows. There was a debate about whether this was politics or science. Jane Fonda knows. There was the same debate, except instead of science, they mostly said something unfriendly about Vietnam and poor Henry Fonda, and all in the name of patriotism, for Christ's sake. Patriotism. Patronage. Patrilineal poppycock. To which I crackled something about how she was on this fab show called Grace and Frankie, or Frankie and Grace. And there were a few unpuzzled looks, particularly from Harvey, who looked absolutely delighted as he spoke into his phaser. First, Frankie and Grace, nothing. Then Grace and Frankie. And the morning turned into the afternoon, and the afternoon turned into midnight, and the elation was, well, I think there were some in attendance who were allergic to happiness. It happens. But otherwise, the elation was so contagious that 5 of us were still watching episodes at 7 the next morning. It is not necessary to see that we laughed, we cried, we had lots of sandwiches, and drank a lot of Merlot. The entitled political incorrectness.